for you guys, but it is definitely a good Friday here. A day off for all the people in Australia, all the Australians getting a day off today, a sleep in, and we get to hang out, and bring you true crime. Apparently, that's what we're doing. So even though everyone gets a day off, I'm actually working. I'm gonna work. I don't get a full day off. I have to come here and hang out with you guys. Now, I was away yesterday. I told you on Wednesday. Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday for me, Tuesday for you, that I would be at a court session for Patrick Oren Stevenson yesterday, and I was. It started quite late. It started at 2:15, so that's normally the lunch break for the Supreme Court. So normally between like 1 and 2:15 ish, they have a lunch break. So there's an afternoon session, and that normally starts about 2:15. So this one started at 2:15. I wish I could tell you more about what happened, but I will repeat what the judge said at the. This is probably all I can tell you about what happened that day. She just told all the journalists that basically everything that they're going to talk about from this point onwards is unreportable. So, um, we'll get there soon. We will go to trial. I don't know. Soon. Soon is the word that I'm going to tell you. I don't pretend to be the scheduler of court things. I just know that we will be going to trial at some point in the future. But yeah, just a lot going on, and eventually we'll get there. I wish I could give you more information, but as soon as we go to trial, as soon as we get that day one and we're in the courtroom and the jury has been impaneled and they have chosen a jury, they've put them in, and the court opens for that day one, I'll be able to tell you a lot more. I'll be able to tell you exactly what we've been hearing about for the last few months. And I will be well versed because Ping has sat through every session that we've been allowed to go to. I have been at every single one. So Ping will know the answer to everything. It's just the way our court systems work down here. So there was no show yesterday afternoon. We started at 2:15. I think we got close to 4 p.m. by the time we finished yesterday. So by the time, I wanted to even think about doing a show, and it would have been past 5 o'clock. It would have been like 2 a.m. in the morning for you guys. Kim says, have you had your fish today? No, but Mrs. Ping got some fish yesterday, and we're having fish for dinner. She's having gummy shark, snappy shark. She's having gummy shark, and I'm just having normal hockey fish, hockey whitefish. So that's what we're doing for dinner in a little while. But hey, it's Easter long weekend. Besides a family gathering on Sunday, aka Saturday night for you guys, other than that day, I'll be here with you all Easter long weekend to talk true crime. And we're gonna catch up on stories. There's a whole bunch of things going on, including this very sad, really sad story about this young lady called Melissa. She's 21 years of age. Unfortunately, she will never get past 21. Now, she was last seen Thursday, the 26th of March, 2026, around 7:30 in the morning. She had her car. It was a 2009 Honda Accord. They ended up finding that car about 60 miles from her home in St. Jacob, Illinois. Keep an eye on that name. She's from Madison County in Illinois. They found her car about 60 miles away after she was last seen, and they ended up finding her in here, I'm getting confused. Here. So no, sorry. She was reported missing from her home in St. Peters, Missouri. Sorry, Ping. Good work, Ping. Um, but then they ended up finding her car in St. Jacobs, Illinois. I don't know how far away those two things are from each other. Let's have a look. Where is St. Jacobs, Illinois? Well, they said about 60 miles from her home. She is from this county. Let me have St. Peters, Missouri. Let's have a look. How far away are these two places? Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, about 53 miles from each other is what it's telling me. About an hour car trip if you were to take the car, like apparently she did. Yeah. So this is Madison County, and if you go over here, this is St. Peter's, all the way over here. So sort of like on the other side of the city, and that is the route. They said about 60 miles. It's about 53, according to my maps. Now, she disappeared, like I said, Thursday the 26th last week. They found that car abandoned in St. Jacobs, Illinois. They ended up finding her deceased on Saturday the 28th of March in Madison County, Illinois. Okay, so where is Madison County, Illinois? Let's have a look. Geez, a lot of counties. All right, let's have a look. Maps. Okay, so we're back on. So if that's St. Louis, I'm guessing that is St. Louis there. Okay. Madison County's up here. It's up in this region here. So not too far from where she started. How her car got from like over here, she was originally missing from over here, and then they found her up in this county up here. Don't know. But it's a very sad end. According to my reports here, they were saying that she had been suffering with a severe medical condition, but also with a lot of mental health. And I thought this would be a great topic to talk about tonight because it's for a lot of students and young people in America, it's starting to get into that spring break. In a couple of months' time, it'll be summer break. And summer break, what does that signify? It signifies the end of the school year. So it is the end of the school year. So between about now and end of June, July, it's a big deal. There's a lot of tests on, there's a lot of exams, there's a lot of people finishing up for their schooling, whether they're in high school, middle school, or even college. And there's a lot of pressure on people, especially young people. And I feel like when you're that age, even 21, it can sometimes feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. And I wonder if that's what was going on with this young lady. They said that she had been struggling at school to the point where she had extended her spring break for a longer period of time because she sort of was not coping. And I find that really sad. That is there nothing more we could have done for her, to I don't know, more support. We could have maybe delayed things, put them on a different academic course or something. They're saying here, her mom says that, or her dad says, his name is Gerald, that his daughter had finished her midterms and appeared stressed, adding that she chose to extend her spring break. He also believed that Melissa was looking to return to school. Well, doesn't seem so, considering it seems like maybe she has yeah. Yeah, I can't use the word, but you guys can guess what word I'm trying to envision. I'm sending to you, psychically, telekinesis. I know you know the word. It begins with the letter S. Um, But I wanted to highlight this because even in Australia, right now, the kids down here are sort of going through their Easter break. And why is that a big deal? Well, it just around now for the kids in school down here, it's sort of their first challenge of the year. It's their first big sort of like, hey, we have to get over this hurdle. So there's a lot of stress, a lot of kids that maybe haven't done those classes before and they're just getting used to it, and it can be quite stressful. So very different opposite sides of the spectrum between America and Australia, but I feel like it's the same thing. It's a lot of stress about, am I going to make it? Am I going to do okay? This means the world to me. How do I navigate through this? And I don't know. I feel like sometimes these young people don't understand or can't grasp that while it feels like this will be the end of the world if you don't succeed, I think when you get a little older, you understand that there is always an alternate path. And it's maybe something you don't understand when you're a bit younger as well. But when you get a little older, you understand that sometimes, even if you fail, there's always a second way that you can do something. There's always a way that you could try and fix something. There's always a different way to go about it. And I think if I had to give a message to the to young people studying or go to uni, or they might be in high school, it's that try and slow down a little bit. Understand everyone's got dreams and aspirations and how devastating it would be if you don't get into this or that. But you'll find out as you get a little older that there is always a second way or a different path to doing things. And I hope that the young people out there really understand that just because maybe, say you fail a test and it's like the big one for the year, okay, you can't change it. It's already done. So, what are your options? That's always should be your next question. What are your options? And then you try and go from there. It's really sad because, 21, it's not very old, right? You think of all the things, and we often say it on this channel, think of all the things you would have done between the age of 21 and now. And you go, wow, it's like a lot of things. I did this, I got married, went around the world, I did this. Unfortunately, this young lady will not get to experience that because she is no longer with us. And yeah, I find that very disheartening, you know. It's not exactly a crime case as of such, but it was a case that a lot of people talked about over the last week or so. And I wanted to at least comment on it and show it to you because I feel like, you know, when we talk about true crime, we often talk about young people who are really bad young people, people who are killing people and being charged as adults and stuff like that. And then you have the opposite side of the coin, like Melissa here, who, I don't know, maybe we could have helped more. Yeah, I'll play this little video.
A sad development this to tell you about today, a story that First Alert 4 first brought you yesterday. St. Peter's police say 21-year-old Melissa Oelke, who was reported as missing yesterday morning, has been found dead in Madison County, Illinois. Oelke had last been seen leaving her residence Friday morning, and her vehicle was later found abandoned in St. Jacob, Illinois. At this time, authorities have not released any information on her cause of death, but say they do not believe there is a threat to the public, and they do not suspect foul play.
A moment of triumph.
Well, there you go. They do not suspect foul play, and hey, what's going on? Okay, here we go. I'm not sure. I'll have a look for you. I don't know if I have a lot on her academic career. Where is it? Let me see. Um, Let me see if I can find anything on her. I believe there was a GoFundMe made. No, that's not. Not on GoFundMe, on Spot Fund. I've never heard of Spot Fund before, but they have a different one. And they have some photos of her. So they've raised $28,000 for her family. I think that is really great. It seems like some family members, one called Cindy, did a donation, $700. That is a family member. How kind. They're saying, in loving memory of Melissa, all funds will go to the family to help support any needs they have as they process the loss of their sweet daughter. They say here, I serve on the board with Sarah, I think that's her mom, campaigned with her last spring and she has become a dear friend. I know so many people in her community want to do something to show their support and offer their love. This is an avenue for that. And look how many people, so many people, wanted to come out and donate something and say something nice to the family. Isn't that nice? It's a very difficult situation. You know, I wish there was more we could do to keep these people around. We're looking at her academic. Let me see if I can find anything about what she was doing in uni. She was pursuing a like her studies were in art and design at the College for Creative Studies in Detroit, Michigan. What is that? What is the College of Creative Studies in Detroit? I've never heard of it. It looks like a great school. Oh, wow. I'm going to show you a picture. Hold on. It looks like a school for very talented artistic people, whether you are, I don't know, doing tattoo design or painting or things like that. They do like large scale art projects. They do digital art. It's pretty cool. What a great school for people who excel. What do they do here? Let's go to programs. Oh, here we go. Animation, art education, entertainment arts, design for sustainability. Nope, let's not do that. All different interior design, photography, transportation design, product design, visual development. Wow, they do a whole heap of different things. And they had a beautiful campus. I'll show it to you. If we can get some photos. Yeah, look at this place. That's a terrible photo, Ping. That's a terrible blurry photo. That's better. It's a quite a large campus by the looks of it. Quite a large Hey, why does that one have that one and that one's got that one? Hold on, guys. We'll actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to the map. There we go. Here it is. And there you go. CCS, which is their abbreviation. It's got this cool drive-in thing here, like you see in like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They blurred some concrete. I mean, you got to keep the concrete's privacy at all times. Look at that. Blurred. For what reason? Don't know. But yeah, there you go. There's the campus. Wow, what a huge building. It's a quite an interesting, very modern, but not modern at the same time. It's got a very old aesthetic to it, but it looks quite modern from the outside at the same time. It's very cool. Let's go down the back. Okay, so it's just like a high-rise type education facility. What a nice campus. Would have been a great school for her to go to. So she was going to a very specialized campus to pursue her arts degree. Very pretty. What a great place to have. Seems like she had a lot going for her. And I don't know. I mean, you never know what's going on in someone's life, right? So we can't comment on that. But I want to know if she had finished her midterms, that would have been in January, right? Because you guys start in September. So it'd be 6 months from September. So late January, early Feb. That would be like your half term, midterm. So she would have just completed that before spring break in March. So yeah, if she completed her half yearly, I wonder what could have got her so down that this felt like an option. And you know, uh, I hope to find maybe some clues to it, because maybe it could help more people who are going through something similar. Maybe it could provide them some sort of keys to what to look out for if they are also struggling with academics. And so, but either way, a very sad story. I don't think we're going to really find out much more, but I'd love to know how she got from St. Jacobs, Illinois to Madison County without her car. Did she walk it? St. Jacobs, Illinois to Madison County, Illinois. They're not, I mean, they're still pretty far away. It's about 30, it says 30 kilometers, but 25 miles, 23 miles. So there's St. Jacob, and they're saying up here is Madison County. Let me zoom out. Yeah, there's St. Louis. So that's Madison. How could you get up here without a vehicle? It doesn't look like... Doesn't look like somewhere you... Yeah, look, it's all farmland. I mean, an idyllic place to do what, she did, but I want to know how you get out here. I'm not sure, and I don't have that information. That information's not been given out. But I'd love to know how you get out here without your vehicle. No way she walks that? Yeah, I would think that's a little far to walk, right? It's not exactly like a 5-minute walk. 25 miles? It's a hell of a distance. A hell of a distance. All right, let me see if I can find anything else about why her car was there. They're saying that, so she... What? We'll get to that in a minute. Apparently there was a big thing in Melbourne today. Someone was giving away $100,000 of free fuel. That's a great way to create a riot on a public holiday. So they're saying here... Oh, okay, we have the road. Keck Road. Okay, I'm going to take you out there in a sec. They're saying that Melissa was found dead on Saturday after she was last seen leaving her home in St. Peters, Missouri. The police department said they received reports around 12:30 p.m. of an abandoned vehicle in St. Jacob, Illinois, the same day she went missing. The day of her disappearance, she left home around 7:30 a.m. and left her cell phone behind. Do you remember that girl with the coffee shop in California? She left her phone behind as well. Anytime someone leaves a mobile phone, and leaves the property, I always have a really bad feeling. Really bad feeling. So that lady in the coffee shop, still waiting to hear. This is Keck Road here. It's quite a long road. It's near the airport, St. Louis Metro Airport. Metro Airport there, little airport. So they found her car abandoned. Where is this if we zoom out? Isn't that basically Madison County? Like, Madison County's like just here. Maybe she could have walked it. If they found it on Keck Road, I mean, Keck Road goes straight up into Madison. This is right up into the area, so okay. This might be the situation where authorities are sort of playing semantics with words. Like they're like, oh, it was over here in St. Peters County or whatever. And they're like, oh, but she was found in Madison County. It's probably more like she just crossed over into Madison County, like by meters, like that type of thing. It sounds like she might have been right on the edge anyway, considering this is Keck Road and this road here goes straight up into Madison. She could have walked it. She could have walked into that particular county. Let's see. Authorities said they used a large-scale search effort to find her, including canine units, drones, and air support, but they don't say how they found her. They just said they found her. Then they said a 21-year-old college student who went missing in Missouri was found dead in Illinois after a week-long search. No real specifics on anything else. Just trying to have a look here. Okay. I do have a photo of the area where they were searching for her. You can see how many... Ah, there's the car. There you go. There's her vehicle. So the vehicle ended up there. That's very... It's almost like she's come off the road and sort of dumped it. There's where they found the vehicle. Ah, that's interesting. According to the information I have here, when they recovered that vehicle, it was supposed to have a dash cam camera in it, but it wasn't in there when they got the car. Hmm. But they must have found her nearby. I reckon she's only just crossed into Madison County by she just walked away from that vehicle. I don't know. So they don't give us any more information about why she might have done this or what exactly she might have been struggling with. But it's very sad to have this happen so close to the holidays where a lot of people spend time with their families and to not have very many answers either to getting up one morning, get ready for the day. She leaves the house, drives the car, abandons the car in this particular way, and then is found dead not long after, not that far away either. It's very, very awful. Hey Marlene, how are you, my friend? Have they said the cause of death? It would have been the evening and it would have been cold. They have not given us a cause of death for her as of yet. I do not have one. Um, I don't, so normally when people die in this way, they don't tend to give you too much more. And it's out of respect for the family. And it's because it is not a crime. It is, but who are you going to charge? Um, it's normally out of respect for the family. They don't want to give out too many details, and they don't want to give any copycat people any ideas. But I'm not. Here, let me check one other place because I'd love to give you as much information as I can. Ah, they put up a memorial for her already. Huh. Okay, that's weird. There was a memorial put up and now it's gone. Maybe the family took it down. Let's see. How cause of death. No official cause of death has been given to the public. Authorities have, however, ruled out foul play and do not believe there are any threats to the public. So they're saying they do not believe a third party were involved. That they're not looking for like a third person or a second person. So here's their update from St. Peter's Police. They're saying Melissa has been located deceased in Madison County. This remains an active investigation, but we do not believe there is a threat to the public. We ask that you keep her family in your thoughts during this difficult time. Thank you to everyone who shared this post and offered your prayers. So, look, my heart goes out to her family because I just it's very very hard. It's awful. Let me see. A lot of people in the comments making stupid comments like saying maybe she was murdered. The cops are saying no foul play, so she was not murdered. Let's see. Yeah, so a lot of people saying that, thoughts to the family, especially during the holidays right now. Let's see. Yeah, that's true. Here, let's have a look. So this is a surveillance photo taken not long before she went missing. I don't want to judge what a young lady is wearing, but would this be typical for a young person going to school or going about their day at 7:30 in the morning? She looks like she's wearing jeans and a hoodie. And if it's cold outside, I think that's probably pretty typical. So she doesn't, you get these photos and you go, what are we supposed to take from them? She doesn't look like she's upset or angry, or it's hard to tell from a single photo, but it doesn't look like it. So that was one of the last photos of her seen alive. That is awful. So that's it, guys. I don't have too much more on her, which is very, very sad. Let's have a look. Yeah, so if we go to, what is this? NBC 5. They're saying the search for a missing St. Peter's woman ended tragically after she was found dead. Um, yeah, they don't give us the location, but this is interesting. Her car was found abandoned off Keck Road in St. Jacob, Illinois. St. Peter's police were working with Madison County Sheriff's Office on the search. So yeah, I think she was probably not found too far from that car. Maybe a mile away, but not very far from it. So yeah, so if you were following along with the search for her over the last week, this is your update, and unfortunately, we won't be getting a good one, a good ending on this one, unfortunately. Um, Not today. Why? I didn't get a computer from Trish today. I help her with her computer if that's what you mean. SP1 said it's grainy, black and white, but normal. Yeah. I don't think it looks like abnormal at all for a teenager or something like that. Yeah. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry, we're trying to find something and we could not. All right. We're not going to do that one. What else do we have? We did the updates for that woman, the woman who thought Elon Musk killed her daughter. That was not a good one. What else have we got? Molly Richards. We could do Molly Richards. We could do that one. Yes. So if you guys know this particular story, and I can go here. This new software is being a bit of a pain in the butt. Yeah. So they say here, Little Elm police say the arrest of Christopher Charles Sanders comes in connection with the search for Molly Richards. You guys might remember that name. We had her on a story. Well, it says November 2025, so it was late last year, but now they have someone in custody. They say a man is in police custody and is alleged to have killed his girlfriend and buried her body in another state. That's a hell of an effort. The affidavit from Little Elm Police reads that authorities started an investigation after the father of Molly Richards called, concerned about not hearing from his daughter since November of 2025, and that her boyfriend, Christopher Charles Sanders, wasn't being responsive to questions he asked about her. Richard's father, Stephen, told police that Molly began to live with Sanders at a home in Little Elm in late October 2025. Stephen Richards told police he last saw Molly in November and that she had previously expressed that Sanders had been abusive towards her. That's not good, a story we've heard far too many times. He told police that she sent him a text message saying she and Sanders would be traveling to South Dakota in November. The affidavit states that the last text messages he got from Molly was on December 1, saying she was checking herself into a mental health facility for her bipolar disorder. That document goes on to state that after December 1's text, Molly's father texted Sanders multiple times for an update on her whereabouts. Things like, went by your place, where is Molly anyway? That's her dad, like, looking for her. And he says, there was no answer at the door and I don't see her car. I am worried about Molly. Can you tell me where she is and how she is doing? There you go. Imagine being that dad and being, you're trying to track down your own daughter. You're going past her last known living location. No car. She's not there. The last thing you heard is she's going to a mental health facility. According to the affidavit, police began investigating Sanders' ties to South Dakota and soon learned that Molly's vehicle was involved in a minor accident in Deadwood, South Dakota. Police were able to contact a witness who was friends with Sanders and was watching over Molly's vehicle at the time. The witness told police that Sanders was renting a home next to his and that he met Molly at a bar with Sanders in November of 25. The witness told police that Sanders asked him to watch over Molly's vehicle so Sanders could take her to see a doctor in Rapid City, South Dakota. He told police that Sanders left his vehicle at a hotel and flew back to Texas but returned a week later to pick up his car and left Molly's car with the witness. The witness further told police that Sanders said Molly met a guy in Deadwood and wanted to stay with the man at a motel in Rapid City. Why is it that they always seem to run away and meet another man? But it's every time someone kills their partner, that always seems to be the story. Oh, they ran away with another guy, met some guy and decided to just leave all their stuff and then run away. So I don't think that doesn't sound very believable. Little Elm Police wrote that they contacted several motels, facilities, hotels, hospitals, and mental health facilities in the area to see if she had checked in or if anyone had seen Molly, but none of them had. The affidavit reads that police were able to get a search warrant for Molly's car, to which they noted a strong smell of cleaning products within. It just sounds worse and worse. So she ran away with another guy, and allegedly, and now her car smells of Clorox and cleaning products and things like that. On February 19, the affidavit states Molly's phone was reactivated and was pinged back to Denton in Texas near Christopher Sanders' home. That's this year, February 19, so many months later. On February 24, a woman who was watching over Sanders' dog at his South Dakota home found several items which belonged to Molly Richards, including a driver's license, bank and credit cards, a laptop, and some unopened mail. After this, police wrote that they began surveilling Sanders and eventually executed 2 search warrants for properties he owned in Denton and Little Elm. The affidavit states they found bedding with blood residue on it, a Lowe's receipt for the purchase of a 24-inch bow saw, 10 5-gallon buckets, a Cobalt tamper, a reciprocating saw, gloves, unopened mail, prescription drugs made out to Molly, and documents with both Sanders and Molly's signatures. That doesn't sound good. On March 7, according to the affidavit, police arrested Christopher Sanders in Marietta, Oklahoma, as he was traveling from South Dakota. Police say Sanders denied killing Molly Richards and wouldn't provide any details on where she was, where her phone and items were. The affidavit states that police have yet to locate Molly's remains and the investigation remains a missing person case. However, they believe Sanders did kill and bury Molly's remains in Oklahoma. Sanders is currently in Denton County Jail. What a story. Let me try and I'll see if I can get a photo of Molly Richards for you. But some of those details at the end do not sound right. A reciprocating saw, buckets. I mean, yeah, here's some photos of the both of them for you. So the thing that we never got explained is, where did she go after going to the mental health facility? And how did she end up in another part of America, apparently running away to a place called Deadwood with another guy, apparently? But she left her phone behind, her laptop behind, her mail behind, her prescription drugs, and a bunch of other stuff. It all sounds like make-believe stories. It really does. It sounds like make-believe stuff. What are you talking about? Not to be rude, but I see groups looking, scamming US crime channels, getting gear off American followers. Well, I don't even know what that means. What do you mean? Hold on. I've had my channel for 3 or 4 years, and we're not scamming anyone. We've gone to trials, we've put in the work, dedicated to different stories, so I don't know who's scamming who, but it's not me. So I don't know what you're accusing me of, but we've put in the work. I spent, what was it, like 3.5 months at a trial last year that we said we're going to go to. So not, I don't think anyone's scamming any Americans or anything or whatever you're talking about here. Groups looking, but I see groups looking. I don't even know what that means. Getting gear off American followers. No. This computer that we have here, I paid for. I paid for with my own money. We built it 18 months ago, 2 years ago, and it was paid for out of my pocket. SP1 says ping is the real deal. Don't worry. Yeah, you can go back through my videos. We've actually been out to these trials and we provide real content. We don't scam people. I was in the Supreme Court yesterday, so yeah, I don't know this person, whoever they are. I can't find their thing now, but they're further up the page. Yeah, so they're wrong. So I don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, I'm not sure either, Dan. They obviously don't know much because we've done more work than most channels do. Most channels just follow links online and comment on live trials while they're just on a live link or whatever. We've actually been to the courthouses and passed security clearances and can get into and sit in the courtroom. So I don't get it, and I don't understand about what. So we only target U.S. viewers, do we? Well, my demographics spread across US, Australian, the UK. We have a percentage of people from Europe, so I don't we don't just have Americans or anything. We have a wide verse of people from multiple countries around the world, including, Kiwis, UK, Aussies. So we're not just a American channel or whatever. AI and not correct spelling for several words. Is it? That's what they are. They're AI. That makes sense. Oh, is that what it was? They're a scammer? Okay. Gail said, I thought they were asking if you'd been contacted by those sorts of people. I don't know what they were. I think they were saying there's I see groups looking, scamming US crime channels, getting gear off American followers. I don't know what that means. I don't even get what that means. How can you be It's almost like two in one statement, but they don't correlate with each other correctly. It's weird. Yeah. Someone they can't even accentuate what they want to talk about. It doesn't matter, guys. We pay for everything that I've paid for everything. The trial we did last year, the majority of it came from my own pocket. I paid my own way. It was just for 1 week of that trial, it was $1,000 for the hotel. And I think with the channel only paid for part of that. And I think we paid every other dollar for it. So I've put in more money to this channel than I've ever got out of it. And it's because I love doing it and I like bringing you guys interesting stories, interesting trials from Australia. I'd keep doing it out of my own pocket because I like doing it. So, yeah, it must be. It's a shame. It's a shame more people will don't look at the content and instead want to do things like that. I think it's a shame. After we broke news last year, um, beat major news outlets to evidence stuff from the trial, like actual bits of evidence from the trial that we were able to get. You know, don't do this just to sit here and panhandle. It's weird because I'm not the one who sits here like some of these other channels that are there are some American channels who sit there and just jingle their sort of collection plate every 5 minutes. I'm not going to give you any examples, but you can come up with a couple who you might see doing that. But I never do stuff like that. So we just leave the links there. If people want to help, they can help. And if they don't want to, they don't have to. There's no pressure on anyone to do anything. So only give them wings like a Red Bull. This week has been miserable for trolls. We don't tend to get a ton of them, thank God. I guess because we're boring. I guess that's what it is. All right. What else do we have to do? So we did that one. That's Molly. By the way, I got off topic. I don't know what you think, but I think anytime someone buys a reciprocating saw, I think you should be worried. So if you see someone you love, maybe a man in your life, and they start talking about reciprocating saws, and they're like, I just have to go down to Home Depot and buy a reciprocating saw, I would be worried because they keep popping up in stories we do about missing women. Now, this one is one that you may not have heard a ton about, Molly, but there is one from Texas that you would have heard about that is going through trial right now, and the husband is accused of using the same type of saw to potentially cut up his wife. What's interesting in the two of them is Neither of them have they found the bodies of the person. Neither of them. None of them. So at least for two of these cases, um, at least for two of them, they worked. They worked. It's not a good thing. That's not a good thing to know that these murderers are figuring it out, a way to get rid of these bodies and make them, at least for a period of time, untrackable. Here, almost. This was a story we did like 2024. 2024? Yeah, almost. Can you believe it's almost 2 years ago now that Susan Simpson went missing? Susan Simpson's husband. A story we did a lot on back when she originally went missing. You will know her when I put up the photo. There you go. There's her husband, there's her. She's never been located. Ever. They have still not been able to find what happened to her. They've searched garbage dumps, they've searched woodlands, they've put hundreds of hours in searching for her. And they have charged her husband. He was supposed to go to trial. I can't quite remember if they are. It's been delayed. That's right. So they are still trying to get to trial for the husband. The husband, though, he's accused of having a, what is it? A reciprocating saw with her DNA on it. So that doesn't sound good. Every time you hear this word in true crime, it seems to indicate some sort of dismemberment or cutting up possibly human remains, something like that. So his name is Brad. He's been charged with four counts, including murder, tampering with a corpse, tampering with physical evidence, possession of a prohibited weapon, which was a silencer, and he has been remanded and remained in custody since he was charged. But yeah, he also decided a reciprocating saw might be a good way of dismembering a human body. Isn't that strange? They did. They charged him. They charged Molly's partner too. But in both of them, they've not been able to find the victim. So I hope that's not going to be like a new trend that takes off in, murderers or something where, because people read these stories, they read true crime, that type of thing. Um, I hope they don't start going, hey, I keep hearing that reciprocating saws are a great tool to have to chop up a body. Now, what is that? Now, you would have seen it if you've ever hired a workman. It looks like this. There you go. There you go. It looks like that. So you can imagine like trying to, almost like a turkey, those turkey cutters where you cut up the turkey. It's like that, but like more powerful. Brian Walsh was convicted without Anna's body. That is true. Hey, Four Sons Mom, how are you? Are you not related to him? I hope you're not related to him. Hey, Taz, how are you? People of Ping, you're going to start calling them Pop? That's pretty good. That's a very catchy name. Um, Rachel said, does it seem like more people are missing and we know they are no longer here? It definitely seems like in a lot of cases now, they're able to know who did it, but they're not able to find the remains. And that seems to be like a really ongoing trend in a lot of these cases where for some reason it must be like mobile phone and cell tower and tracking people in that way digitally. It's much easier to track people and then put two and two together, make a circumstantial case based on the evidence that you have, than sometimes it is to find out where they put the remains of the person. And I think that's what we're sort of seeing. It's a disconnect between the technology that we have and then trying to find those victims. Sometimes they don't have all of the information they need. I'll give you an example. What if someone killed someone, right? and you're like, okay, well, they both had mobile phones, so they can track the person. What if they're like, okay, what I'm going to do next is before I get rid of the body, I'm going to get rid of all electronics that could track me. So they only know what happened up until that point. So after that, they don't know where they took the body, and that's happened in a bunch of different cases where the murderers are smart enough to know that they will probably be tracked through their cell phone usage, connecting to towers and things like that, that they've turned off phones, thrown them away, left them at home, that type of thing. So they sort of know what happened to the victim. They sort of know how it played out, but because they can't track them after they left the property, or after the phones were turned off, after electronic devices were disabled, they can't go any further, and they don't know what happened to them. And that's unfortunately happened quite a lot recently. Um, that's a PVC pipe cutter. Most plumbers carry those. I think is it? I thought the PVC cutters were those things, and you go clunk, and they cut a bit of the pipe off. I didn't think this was a PVC pipe cutter, but they call it a reciprocating saw. Yeah, like these things. I've seen people cut PVC pipe with like those grip things, like this. Most plumbers will use this type of tool as well to cut PVC pipe. It's like a giant pair of scissors, really. Um, hey, yeah, good to see you, my friend. Who else is here? Taz is here. Taz says, I love my reticulating saw. Great for trimming trees, but messy for bodies. What is a reticulating saw? What's the difference? Reticulating saw. Is that the same thing? Like a sawzall? It might be the same thing. I think it's the same thing. Okay, so I think the other brand name for it is a hacksaw or a sawzall, that type of thing. So if you know what that is, then you know what we're talking about. So pretty easy to follow. You've never seen these? They cut through PVC pipe like butter. You can just, clap it on, and then and it'll cut through the pipe really easily. So, yeah, there you go. So yeah, there's the difference. So what's going to happen to Molly after this? I really don't know. But at least they have him in jail now. I think the next bit is to try and find Molly. Try and find out where he put her. When you hear those details though, 10, what was it? 10 5 gallon buckets. So somewhere in Oklahoma, it seems like there are 10 5 gallon buckets somewhere that maybe have human remains in it. That's sort of what they're saying. Um, what is a cobalt tamper? Oh, okay. What would you use? Oh my God. Ah, I see. I see. That's not good. So he bought one of these too, and it is to tamper down the earth and make it sort of compacted. So what do we do with bodies? We bury them. And if you use this, maybe people won't notice that the earth has been disturbed because you're making it all flat again. So sometimes when people murder people and they bury them, one of the ways they're caught out is because the earth has been disturbed. But maybe if you use a tamperer, maybe you could pat it down and make it not look as, messed with. So maybe that's what he did. What else did he buy? Just He also bought a 24-inch bow saw. Oh my God, what did he do to this poor woman? Ugh. This is the bow saw. Yeah. Can you imagine trying to cut through a body with that? Oh my God. The one thing I don't understand about this particular story with Molly, where's the crime scene? Where is it? Because they found a blanket with some blood residue. But you think if you're going to cut up a person with this type of tool or the reciprocating saw, where's the crime scene? There's got to be somewhere that's got a ton of blood and bodily fluid and things like that. There's got to be. Um, yeah, I don't understand what to tell you other than that. Like, there's got to be a crime scene that they haven't found. That's not the bigger bits. I hope it's not. Pretty horrible. Taz said, so you need to have a great saw and be good at concrete finishing. It worries me that maybe he did put her under some sort of concrete or something. Let's have a look. Molly. I wanted to see if there was anything else on where they think she might be. Okay. No, it seems like they really don't have a great idea of where she might be. They're still sort of she could be anywhere between Texas and South Dakota, but they think it's somewhere up in that region. Let me have a look down here. So they even put out a missing person poster of her right here, Little Elm PD, and that was the poster they put out about her originally. Jeez. Let's see. You know what's interesting in this photo is is she wearing a jail outfit? Is that her after being arrested at some point? That looks like a jail uniform. They seem to uh-huh. Investigators later reconstructed the route of Richard's vehicle, determining it had traveled through Oklahoma on the way to South Dakota on November 27. They identified a gap of 1 hour and 9 minutes when the vehicle was near Sanders' property in Marietta, Oklahoma. Investigators believe that window of time is when Sanders disposed of Richard's body, likely on or near the property before continuing north. Well, if they know what property he was at, how come they gone there? How come there's no body there? Um, like that type of thing. Like why if they know where it is, why can't they find it? It's interesting. I'd love to know why, if they've got that level of detail, what happened? What happened to her remains after he dropped it off? Did it get picked up? Was it put in a bin? So she's 31. He's 53. They're the ages of both of them. So there you go. 53 and 31. Hey, my friend, how are you? Who are you talking about? Oh, you're talking to our other friend. Okay. Kim says, I don't understand how people can dismember. There was a story that I brought you guys 18 months ago, 2 years ago, about there was a love triangle in Queensland, Australia, where one of the women and the men in the triangle put the other guy into a wood chipper. and they tried to say it was a accident, and it wasn't. The guy, they worked out that the other two were plotting to kill the guy to basically allow the woman to run away with the other lover and then take their property and money and things like that. But they said he tripped and fell into the wood chipper, but now they're saying that he might have been pushed into the wood chipper, that someone might have given him a nudge. I can't imagine what the after scene of that would have been, but after forensics had come to that property, they went over the property, collected all the human remains, left. Months later, people that were cleaning up the property to sell the property found bone fragments still in the area. And they had to call forensics to come back out, pick up more bone fragments, and take them away. Like, that's how messy that crime scene was, that the forensics couldn't find all the bone pieces, and eventually other people saw them on the property like months later, that they were still finding bits of the guy around the property. Yeah, that's a really horrible story. I can't remember if they charged two people over it. Yeah, wood chipper. Death, Queensland. I can't remember if they. They were sentenced recently. Ah, damn, we missed it. So Greg Rosa was one of the people involved, and yeah, convicted murderer Greg Rosa plotted the killing with his fiancee Sharon Graham. They killed another guy, and they popped him into a wood chipper. But they're saying here, Queensland truck driver Greg Rosa has had his appeal against his life sentence for murder rejected. They're saying Rosa plotted with his fiancee to kill her ex-partner Bruce Saunders. Both were convicted of his murder, and yeah, they fed Mr. Saunders into a wood chipper. This is Bruce Saunders right here on the left, and that is her on the right. So it was sort of like this love triangle of a past lover, her new partner, and it got really complicated. So they decided to kill Mr. Saunders and feed him through a wood chipper. It was nasty, really nasty. What a waste of a wood chipper. Those are only for PDF files. Maybe. I don't know if you would even do that. I feel like, how much is a wood chipper? Like several $1,000s. I don't know if you'd want to wreck it. Let's see. Let's see. Remember the movie Fargo? No, I don't. I don't think I've ever seen Fargo. Uh, what? No problem. Sorry. Family just wrote they were supposed to come over today and do something, and they're like, "Oh, we got tied up because we found a dog at the park, and then we had to try and find the owner of the dog. So we've been there all day trying to deal with the lost dog." That was your mom. That's why they're not here, because they found a dog. Here, come read this. I don't know. Do you want to talk to her? Here, you talk to her. So that they found a dog apparently, and that's why they're not here. But that's okay. That gives us more time to talk true crime. Let's see. Hey, the Thoris. How are you, my friend? Four Sons Mom said if a wood chipper could chip wood, that's right. Maybe it would have a lot of stories to tell. All right, let's keep going. I wish I had more I wish I had more information on Molly, but there's not a lot of background for her except for that guy being arrested and Molly Richards. So yeah, she was a 31-year-old woman, um, missing from Little Elm in Texas. Yeah, I'm going to take you out to Dallas-Fort Worth for a few minutes here.
A man is facing a murder charge accused of killing his girlfriend last seen last year.
Her name's Molly Richards. She was reported missing in January after her father had not heard from her in several weeks. Earlier this month, police arrested Christopher Sanders. Police say he killed her, then took her body out of state. Fox 4's David Centenary is here with more from police and the evidence they've uncovered. David.
Well, Molly Richards reportedly texted her father that her boyfriend was becoming physically abusive and controlling. She hasn't been seen since November. Her body's still not found, but her boyfriend now charged with her murder.
And to think that it was right there is just wild.
Cell phone video shows a Little Elm Police Department SWAT team raiding a home in Denton earlier this month.
My husband, he jumped up out of bed to kind of make sure everybody was okay.
Neighbors knew little of the man living down the street, 53-year-old Christopher Sanders.
No, I come out this way and I just always noticed his yard was never mowed.
Now they know he allegedly killed his girlfriend and dumped her remains in Oklahoma.
She's our age,
31-year-old Molly Richards moved in with Sanders to his home in Little Elm last October, according to an arrest warrant obtained by Fox 4 News. One of several homes Sanders either owns or is connected to. The two were in a relationship, but no one has heard from Richards since November. Throughout the month of December, Richards' father texted Sanders asking where his daughter was at. One text reading, "I would like to get her birthday presents to her." Richards had been battling mental health issues, and Sanders said she was seeking treatment. But in January, Sanders blocked the phone number belonging to Richards' father. Her father filed a missing persons report. That same month, police received a tip from South Dakota, where Sanders has another home. The tipster, watching Sanders' dogs, said she found Richards' ID, credit cards, laptop, and other belongings.
It just makes me wonder, what's going on in all these different houses. You never know. That's why they say, if you see something, say something. But we never really saw anything. It was just sketch.
J.D. Smith and Jessica Martinez live in Denton, down the street from one of Sanders' addresses. In this Denton home, investigators found a receipt from a hardware store showing Sanders purchased multiple saws, buckets, and gloves. In this Little Elm home, investigators found blood residue, and a human remains detection dog picked up a scent in a bedroom. According to the arrest warrant, investigators believe Sanders secreted Molly Richards' remains at a property in Oklahoma before continuing to drive her vehicle to South Dakota.
And so I was already kind of eerie and nervous.
Neighbors describe a strange vibe from Sanders, who kept a low profile.
And it was always very quick. If I was out here running or with my kids, the garage was open, then it was closed. There was never any activity.
Sanders right now in the Denton County Jail, again charged with murder. Now, all this information that we've been reporting is coming from court documents that we have obtained. Little Elm Police Department has not put out any sort of public notification about this charge that we've seen. We have reached out to them trying to get some questions answered and asked for an interview, but at this point in time, we have not heard back from the department. For now, Steve, Heather, back to y'all.
All right, David Centenary. David, thanks.
That was a very interesting video, if you ask me. Where was that?
But in
video?
January,
yeah, this bit here.
Richards' father texted Sanders asking where his daughter was at. One text reading, "I would like to get her birthday presents to her." Richards had been battling mental health issues, and Sanders said she was seeking treatment. But in January, Sanders blocked the phone number belonging to Richards' father. Her father filed a missing persons report. That same month, police received a tip from South Dakota, where Sanders has another home. The tipster, watching Sanders' dogs, said she found Richards' ID, credit card.
It sounds to me like it was far too late. By the time anyone sort of had clicked on that something was seriously wrong, it was far too late. That she was most likely already dead, and yeah, it sounds like she was long gone. He had already bought all those tools from Home Depot, disposed of her remains, and buried her what sounds like he buried her near his property in Oklahoma. So I guess the next bit is to continue on with court with him, try and take it to trial, and try and find where her body is. I think that might be a really difficult, depending on what he did to her, depending on what he did with the saw, it may actually be really hard. Um, some of these killers are quite clever in that when they dismember them, they deposit the remains in multiple locations. And the fact that he drove from Texas to South Dakota, imagine all the different places he might have been able to deposit bits of her, some of her, you know. I know they said in Oklahoma they believe he dumped her there, but they've been there, and if she's not there, then how does that theory work? If they know where he went, then how come they didn't find any human remains in Oklahoma? So I don't know what to tell you. We're gonna have to wait and see. But at least he has been charged. At least Christopher Charles Sanders has been charged on those murder charges, and let's interesting, it was the Texas Rangers who picked him up. Good work, Texas Rangers. Good work for you guys. Got a text from her stating that she and her boyfriend are going to travel. Um, I'm just trying to see if there's anything else about what they might want to do now. No, but they're saying Sanders was booked into jail a couple of weeks ago on March 16, and they're saying that her remains have not been located to this point in time, and I don't know if they're going to continue to look for her. They're going to wait for her to sort of be found, but right now it doesn't sound like they have anything concrete, in a way of a search party or to go out there and locate her. Yeah. Marlene said a lot of her belongings, but too late for her, most likely. I think she was long gone by the time anyone sort of put two and two together and went, oh, something's really off here. I think she was already gone. Maybe they can get where the body is out of him. Hopefully, that would be good. That would be a good thing. Montana said he's old enough to have had other relationships. What else has he done? At 53, I mean, do you think you go start killing people at 53 that easily? That you go and start dismembering people? So I would like to know, what else has he done? You're right. Has he done this to other women? Has he hurt other women before? That would be an interesting, um, you know, that would be an interesting avenue to sort of have a look into. Let me see if there's anything else we can find about Christopher Charles. I don't. Nope, that's not it. No. So I think I've given you the majority of the details on it. I don't want to backtrack back and forward over it. I think that would be a bit boring. That might be interesting. I want to see about this $10,000 fuel thing. Let's have a look for a second. What happened here? Oh, this sounds great. Massive $100,000 fuel giveaway is shut down by police after causing traffic chaos in Melbourne as desperate Aussies try and fill up for the Easter long weekend. Who was giving it away? The giveaway was held by Billy Beasley of RS Reward and limited customers to $200 of fuel. Drivers were not permitted to fill jerry cans with petrol. That's pretty crazy. $100,000 fuel giveaway sparks chaos, and they had to shut it down because 1,000 cars showed up to the area trying to get free fuel in Melbourne. There you go. Look at all the cars trying to get into that petrol station. They are banked up in every direction around the petrol station. What a dumb, very clever marketing idea. Very dumb idea to try this. One, on a public holiday on Good Friday. That's yeah, that's where they are. They've gone to get the free fuel, and they didn't tell us. How dare they? They didn't take our car to go get free fuel. That is bonkers. I can't believe someone would even try this. Oh my God. Look at the traffic photos. There's like cars trying to do U-turns to get into the lane for the petrol. Oh, there's probably someone gonna crash, and then there's gonna be fights, and oh my Lord. That is really dumb. I can't believe someone would even try that. They're saying here Victorian police said officers arrived at the petrol station at 7:30 a.m. to assist with traffic directions. Leaks Road became congested following a promotion at a service station where it's understood free fuel was being handed out. Police established several hazards due to increased traffic and engaged event organizers. Organizers worked with police and established an alternative way to run the promotion, which is understood to be in the form of vouchers that can be used later. There you go. I don't know here. Let's see. Can you get free fuel for my... how do you get the voucher? I want to tell you guys how you can do that. RS rewards. Let's have a look. Can I tell my viewers how to get 200 bucks in free fuel? That'd be great. It seems like you have to sign up and you probably have to pay a fee or whatever. Here. I'm not sure. Here, I'll check on their Facebook page because if I can tell my Aussie people how to get 200 bucks of free fuel, that would be good. They haven't done an update on sort of like... Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a way of doing that. If I find out, I'll tell you guys so that you guys can get a $200 voucher for fuel. You probably have to join one of their rewards programs or something, and I don't want to promote that if I don't have to. Let's see. You can't get to Australia to claim it. So the people who are doing it, I don't know if you have these in America, but there's these companies down here that sort of, I'll show you what it is. I don't really want to give them advertising, but I'll show you anyway. I'm not saying that you should join this or do anything. I just want to show you who they are. So this is one of them. There's several. There's several of these, not just one. And what you do is you have to do these. See how they got like a monthly thing here where you have to like buy a package every month or whatever. So you do this and it's a recurring cost every month. So it says $49.99, but that's only for the first month. And after that, it's $100 a month. You get 100 entries per month. But what does that mean? Well, they do all these giveaways every month. Like you might win a car, you might win a yacht, you might win a around the world trip, you might win a home, all that type of thing. Some of them are smaller, like you might win $100 gift voucher. But this is the way they generate their money, by giving people a sort of like almost like the lotto or a lottery. So you probably had to be a member of this to go get your fuel or whatever. So yeah, it's not what you think it is. It's gambling designed as a membership. So it's basically, yeah, they say it's a membership opportunity. but it's really some sort of raffle. It's like a raffle ticket. And the why they say it's a membership is to get around the laws around gambling. If you say you're paying for a membership, then you don't have to say it's a lottery as such. Um, yeah, so it's basically just a way of getting around the laws. Yeah, like a raffle. It's basically paying to be in a raffle. Um, Chipmunk says 100 grams of candy bars. Yes. Thora said no free gas, just a few cents off. That is where I get gas. Yeah, they normally do stuff like that here, where you get the like a rewards card or something like that. So that's probably what that was all about. These were probably members of that particular company, and then because they're a member, they were entitled to the free fuel or something. So there you go. They created a crazy situation in Melbourne at 7:30 in the morning, and it was so bad it had to be shut down. So no one got the fuel. You had to get a voucher later on. So yeah, crazy people, crazy people. I want to know about this. Another story popped up. What is this? Huh. Oh, that's it. That's interesting. Let's have a look at this. There was a coal come in the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. They're saying police were called to the base of Mount Tibrogargan. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. About 8:40 a.m. on Thursday after reports of a woman screaming for help. The woman was found about 10:30 a.m. after officers began searching on foot. A report will be prepared for the coroner. Hmm. That's interesting. So did she fall or did she jump? That's concerning. The fact that locals heard her screaming and that's how they were alerted to it. There's the mountain right there. They found her at the base of that mountain. So I hope she didn't slip and fall. That would have been, yeah. Queensland Police said emergency services were called to the base of the mountain at the Glasshouse Mountains at 8:40 a.m. on Thursday after reports a hiker had heard someone calling for help. Emergency services searched the area on foot and a female was found dead just after 10:30 a.m. in the morning. Isn't that sad? The fact that she was able to scream for help for a number of hours to the point where the cops were called, but by the time the cops got there, they couldn't help her. I think that's I feel like that's everyone's worst nightmare. That, you know, if you go hiking or you go out into the wilderness, something bad might happen and you call for help and then eventually they hear you, but by the time they get to you, you pass away. That's really sad, really, really sad. Let me see what else we can find about this woman. No name has been given out as of yet. No name of this woman. Yeah, a woman has been found dead after hiking up a mountain on the Sunshine Coast just hours after she was heard screaming for help. Um, I wonder if maybe she tripped and fell or was hanging on. Maybe she tripped and was hanging on very high up, and that's why people could hear her screaming. And maybe by the time they actually figured out what was going on, she had fallen. That could be true. That's really sad. They're saying just about a month ago, there was another woman called L'Oreal Georgina who died on the mountain just a month ago. So the mountain itself has claimed a number of people over the years. Why did it not change to our other thing? Here we go. This lady died there a month ago. Now yesterday we have another woman who was hiking up that mountain and then died. I can't imagine what that would have been like. What? What? What are you guys talking about? Oh, this photo here. Oh, here, this one here. I see it. There you go. There you go. There's the photo. There you go. Take it in, ladies and gentlemen. Take it in. There you go. There's your Easter treat. there it is. Whatever that is, I don't know. Something about the male G-spot is not where you thought it was, according to this article. It's in their head. No, I don't know where it is. There you go. Scientists discover male G-spot is not where anyone thought. Okay, buddy. There you go. There you go. So there we go. We'll go back to our story. Look, I don't know why they would be able to hear this woman but not be able to save her. I think that's like one of those moments in life, if they had been 10 minutes earlier, would she have been alive? You don't know, right? She could have been alive 10 minutes earlier. We can have a look. I've never been there, but yeah, we can have a look. Let's go to the mountain. Let's see if we can get up there on a map or something. Can we get up there on a... I can't take you up the mountain, but I can show you like the surrounding area. Apparently it won't let us. But I can show you the surrounding area. So there's the mountain right there. I don't know how you access the actual mountain up there, but you can see the surrounding terrain. This is someone's property and look how dense it is. Like, that's not even the bushland part of it. That's someone's home. Let's go the other way and see if we can go up the other side of the mountain. I mean, you guys can see just from looking around, there's a giant mountain over there and you can't even see it through all the trees. Someone, oh my God, there's a blurred box. Don't you hate when you're walking down the street and then there's like a blurred box and you're like, why? Not again. How come I keep running into these things? Every day. Oh my God, hey, there's a cat. Hi, cat. Hi, buddy. Oh. Hmm? What's wrong? You want to do the show? He wants to do the show. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. There you go. There's your daily muffin attack. Let's have a look. No, I want to look at the mountain. No, we're not going to look at the guy. I want to look at the mountain. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, if you came through here, can we go down that one? Maybe we can go down here. Let's have a look. Like, you see how confusing it is for me? If you just heard some woman screaming over here, I don't know how easy it would be to, like, pinpoint exactly where she is. Like, you see all the trails and roads. There we go. There's the mountain right up there. Let's go further down. Like, she could have been anywhere through here doing some sort of hiking trail or... So maybe... There we go. We're going to go... Aha! Mountain. Right in front of us. Can we go that way? That looks like someone's home. Alright. Can we go here? Apparently not. What does that say? Park closed. Planned burn in progress. So they're doing like a burn for the bushfire. But yeah, it's just around this corner up there. So you would have to access the land. Looks like through here normally you can drive through, but it's not open at the moment. So yeah, I could imagine trying to get down here and actually figure out where the F this woman actually is. Like, look at that. There's a mountain behind these trees, and you can't even see it. It's very dense bushland in places. So, I mean, I get it. I get why the cops maybe couldn't track her down, but at the same time, I wanted to go through here. So there's another gate, right? Can you guys see that? There's another gate through here that allows you access to the mountain through there, but it doesn't allow us through there. So yeah, it's a little sad. Yeah, that's another guy who died there. I'm trying to figure out how you actually access the... Alright. So apparently this is the car park, and then you must go up. There's a car park right here. That first place we were at, this one right here, apparently it doesn't look like this anymore. So this is a very, yeah, January 2010. This photo does not look like this anymore. On the actual map, this whole area has been cleared out and it's been turned into a giant car park where people who are going to go climb up the mountain park here and then go up the mountain. It's been all raised. All these trees are gone. And there's like a big giant car park here. And then there's a trail that leads up the mountain. So the photos have not been updated in almost 20 years. For some reason, Google has not sent anyone out here since 2010. Pretty bonkers. So, but look, poor lady, hey. Bad weekend for her. Bad weekend for her to be trying to go hiking and then I don't know what to tell you. She must have fallen, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, woman has been found dead on a mountain on the Sunshine Coast hours after she was heard screaming for help. I feel like if you're screaming for help, probably should happen quicker than hours later. So, let me read some comments. How are you guys? Having a good night? Having a good Easter? That was Mr. Muffin. Yeah, that was Mr. Muffin. I don't think they jumped the fence. I'll show you what I mean. Go back. No, that's not the one we were on. I have to redo it. So, you know, I showed you that area on the road where I said it doesn't look like that anymore. I'll show you. Here. That last map we were on was right here. But as you can see, look, there's a whole big car park that they've built here now. And you park your car and then you start up the trail. There's a trail that goes through here, see? And this trail eventually goes up the mountain, I'm guessing. Maybe goes through here. There's the mountain. There's different walls on it that have different names. There's some caves that you can visit. But yeah, it looks like there's like a trailhead that you can get to if you park here, and then you end up, these are all the trails that you can see. So it looks like one goes, how do you get to the mountain? You have to go up this one, then go down here. Geez, not easy. you somehow have to get up. I guess you go up this side of the mountain. Imagine if you fell off this thing. That doesn't look like it would be a, if you were screaming for help, even if you landed on one of these rocky outcrops here, who would know you're there? Who would know? Especially at like 7:30 a.m. in the morning. It seems like you would be having a very bad day. So, how she got from here to the bottom, other than jumping or falling, and why the neighbors were able to hear her for hours screaming for help. I mean, who is your closest neighbor? Probably these guys here? Maybe this property here? So maybe one of these three are the closest humans, and you would have to scream so loud that they would hear you. Seems like she tried, but she unfortunately passed away. So, let's see. Rachel said, looks like some areas here can be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah. Oh, the echo? Maybe from yelling again, in the area. But what a horrible death. Maybe we'll find out who she was, but you can see how vertical it is in that photo. It's just sad. There's the cops at that car park. That's the car park I just showed you. So, police said it was believed the female had fallen. Ugh. Her poor family, was just trying to go out on a jog, on a hike, a bit of a Easter long weekend fun. And instead of returning home with a story, she ended up at the bottom of this mountain, dead. Terrible. That's what I thought, that maybe she had fallen like a period down the mountain and landed on an outcrop or something like that. And that's why she was screaming so much, because she's like, help, I've fallen. And then maybe by the time they actually got to her, she had fallen the rest of the way because she couldn't hang on, or like that would have to be your biggest fear, right? Imagine you're on this mountain and you fall, but you don't fall and land on something flat. You fall and you're hanging by your hands like that. You would have to know that it's your arm strength and grip strength. It's either you or the bottom of the mountain. And at some point your arms are going to give out. That must be a horrible reality to have in your head, to know that you're most likely going to die, and it depending on how long you can hold on for. You can scream, the cops can come to the location, but by the time they get there, you're probably gonna fall. That would have to be a very, it's a very tragic end to someone's life. It's a really horrible end. Very sad, very sad. Hey, the Thoris, I appreciate it. Hey, so we can't see on this new software, unfortunately, whether anyone did a super chat. If someone did, I appreciate it. I can't see them on the Riverside thing, unfortunately. But if you did give one, I appreciate it. You guys are very kind. Hold on. That's fine. I just didn't want anyone to think we're ignoring them because we can't see it on the. Uh, I find that very strange. You make a software, you say it's for YouTube, and you implement the chat into it, but you don't put that part of the chat or allow it to be seen on the software. So I'll have to ask Riverside why they don't allow it to be seen. Chipmunk said, I see a face on the mountain where the peaks are and its eyes, then a weird nose. Okay, you keep seeing faces and things. I think they call that pareidolia or something. You keep enjoying your pareidolia. You keep doing that. Let me see what else we have. Do we have any other stories? It's been a funny week. There's been some good stories. There's been some others. Okay. Let's go out to KAKE. If it'll load it for me. Give me 1 second. Oh my god, this story. You guys remember this one. Oklahoma stepfather pleads guilty to abuse after stepdaughter gives birth. Do you guys remember this one? Sherry and Dustin Walker. A Muskogee County man entered a blind plea in court after his 11-year-old stepdaughter gave birth to his baby. Walker pleaded guilty to felony SA of a child under 12 and 6 felony counts of child neglect. All charges are 85% crimes, meaning once sentenced, he must serve 85% of the sentence before being eligible for parole. This was like the one where the grandma knew. This is the grandma. And she was like protecting her son, saying how much like, oh, I thought he was a good dad. And I remember this one. We talked about this one a while ago. Give me a sec. Sherry and Dustin Walker, you absolute filthy animals. Actually, animals are nicer people. This happened back in August of last year. I can't believe the stepdaughter, 11 years old, gave birth. She's actually had the baby now. Let me see, past week. Weird, there's no like localized, yes there is. Is that him? There's no KAKA. Oh, KAKE news? Let me see if KAKE has one about him. Okay, they don't? I would have thought this would have been a big story for them. Alright, I'm gonna have to try somewhere else. Give me a minute. I would have thought they did. Maybe KHJH? Yes, here we go.
Hey folks, Vaughn here again. Today,
sorry guys, we're gonna have to wait for the ads to finish. Stupid ad. Yeah, maybe we can just do it like that.
hey folks, Vaughn here
God.
again.
I don't want to know Paul.
We're looking for something
Go away, Paul.
tricky. Just kidding. We're looking for hidden roof damage.
No, we don't
Now
want to know.
This is easy
I
to
don't want to know
spot.
about your bunny.
Bright colors, pretty cool shape, but roof damage, not so easy.
Now
After
to a story we
storms,
were the first to tell you
wind,
about.
hail,
You may have received
heavy
our push
rain,
alert
your
when a
roof can
Muskogee
take
man
hits that
pleaded
you cannot
guilty,
see from the ground.
admitted to getting
The
his
Easter Bunny,
11-year-old
he
stepdaughter
doesn't check
pregnant.
for roof damage, but ABES does.
Now to a story we were the first to tell you about. You may have received our push alert when a Muskogee man pleaded guilty, admitted to getting his 11-year-old stepdaughter pregnant. 2 News Oklahoma Steph Manchin was the only TV reporter in the courtroom.
Dustin Walker pled guilty in Muskogee County Court Thursday, admitting to getting his 11-year-old stepdaughter pregnant. Walker faces 1 count of felony sexual abuse and 6 counts of felony child neglect. His attorney, Ben Hilfiger, says they entered a blind plea, meaning there was no agreement beforehand with the state.
Normally, we will have a plea agreement when we go to plea our clients, but in this case, I didn't feel there was one that we could get that would be useful or helpful in any way.
2 News Oklahoma's Isabel Flores first brought you this story, exclusively speaking with the child's grandmother, Michelle Justice, before she too was arrested for neglect.
No one knew. She did not look pregnant.
Walker, Justice, and the child's mother, Cherie Walker, are all charged in the case.
They keep saying that we knew about my granddaughter's pregnancy, and we did not.
We've talked to District Attorney Janet Hudson every step of the way. I asked her if she feels this guilty plea is a move towards justice.
Well, ultimately it will be. We only did a blind plea today. A pre-sentence investigation was ordered. There will be a sentencing hearing on June the 18th, and I am hopeful for a lengthy sentence.
Hudson says she expects to be able to call witnesses to the stand during sentencing. All 7 of Walker's charges carry up to life in prison. Walker's attorney says there is a possibility of multiple life sentences, depending on what the judge orders.
All of these offenses are 85% crimes. Because they are punishable up to life, life has been calculated in the state of Oklahoma to be 45 years. So if he is sentenced to life, he must serve 38 years and 3 months before he is eligible for parole.
Sentencing is scheduled for June 18th in Muskogee County Court. Reporting in Muskogee, Steph Manchin, 2 News, Oklahoma.
We did look at the next court dates for the mom and grandma also charged in connection to the young girl's pregnancy. Both are scheduled to be in court on Friday, June 12th.
What horrible human beings. How could you do that? You know, to your 11-year-old stepdaughter. That's, I don't know what to tell you. 11. And she just gave birth to her stepfather. I mean, we heard about this story. I think it was August last year, and I think it shocked us all when we heard it back then. The fact he has to serve 80% of his crimes, I like that. I like that. 85% is not bad, but I think he's one of the most despicable things we've ever heard. And then the family tried to cover it up too. They're all like, no, he's the yeah, they were seeing they were basically trying to defend him, saying like, oh, I've never seen anything like that. I've been over there a million. That was grandma. She was like, I've been over there a million times. I've never seen anything like that. So, yeah, really, really horrible people. Yeah, so there you go. Let's have a look. I want to see if there's anything else about them. What a horrible Dustin Walker. They're saying that they're thinking he's going to get a lengthy sentence. And then, yeah, the mum and the grandma said they deny they had any idea the petite 11-year-old girl who delivered a full-term, normal-sized baby was pregnant. She's 11. They already said that she's a petite size, and she delivered a full-size, full-term baby. And you don't think she's ever looked pregnant? Are you sure about that? I think we've all noticed pregnant women before. I mean, I think I've seen a couple in my 41 years on Earth. They're pretty noticeable. They don't exactly blend in, especially when they get to that 9-month mark. They look pretty pregnant. That is just absolute BS. The fact that you can try and claim that you've never ever noticed them, I just think it's ridiculous. It's not true. You're just trying to cover your own butt. Your mum sent photos of the dog. It's a little white one. No, yeah, something like that. It's something like that. How can no one in the family notice an 11-year-old body changing so much? Yeah, they are full of it. Yeah. Oh, she's never looked pregnant. 11, and they already said that she was petite. And they're like, no, pregnant? No, she just got really round all of a sudden. 11-year-olds, they tend to get really rotund in the stomach area at 11. That tends to happen, puberty, things like that. No, that's not how that happens. What a horrible family that would protect Dustin Walker. And I don't have any. Sherry Walker, the mom, is just as complicit as the dad. 1000%. They're both full of crap. Here, let me take you back to last year, 21st of October. No, 21st of August, 2025.
Nobody, not even the neighbors. They say things, but they don't know what was going on.
Tonight, we're hearing from the grandmother of an 11-year-old girl who gave birth over the weekend. Thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Naomi Kitt.
And I'm TJ Eckert. The Muskogee County District Attorney's Office charged the 11-year-old's mother, Sherry Walker, and stepfather, Dustin Walker, for child neglect.
2 News Oklahoma's Isabel Flores listened to the grandmother, who believes that people have the wrong idea about her family.
I went to Dustin Walker's house. The assistant district attorney said the 11-year-old lived there with him, her stepfather, and biological mother, Cherie.
Thank you.
Her next-door neighbor shouted to me nobody was home, so I talked to her instead.
This is getting to me, and I've talked. I said, they're not doing nothing. They're not helping them kids, and I've called.
While I spoke with Cheryl Atkins, I noticed this lady filming across the street, but I continued on with the interview.
They have no running water for the last 2 or 3 years. They have dogs in the house. They have cats in the house. 6 children.
When we got to the home, there was some trash in the yard, a broken window, and a bungee cord holding the door locked.
The oldest is 11, and everybody else is younger.
Once Atkins and I finished our conversation, I approached the woman who's filming.
Hi there.
I found out her name was Michelle, and the 11-year-old's grandmother.
We didn't know this was happening. None of us.
How do you think your granddaughter got pregnant?
She keeps telling us that it was the little 12-year-old boy that I used to keep, I babysat. She keeps telling everybody that it was him. They got curious. That's all I know.
I spoke to Muskogee's assistant district attorney, Janet Hudson.
It's our understanding the child had not seen a doctor in over 1 year.
They keep saying that we knew about my granddaughter's pregnancy, and we did not.
First got word of this case, what was your initial reaction?
I was horror-stricken to find out that it's an 11-year-old little girl who's given birth and that she had no medical care and she had no one to be with her.
This is getting to me, and I've talked. I said, they're not doing nothing. They're not helping them kids, and I've called about the dogs, called about the children.
The assistant district attorney tells me a paternity test has been conducted, and she expects the results within 2 weeks. In Muskogee, I'm Isabel Flores with 2 News Oklahoma.
There we go. Really horrific for that 11-year-old girl. What happens to her now? What happens to her? You can't send her home to the mom. What are you supposed to do? Yeah, they already did DNA test him. He is the father. That's why that's already been done. He is 100% the father. Hold on. Oh. Yeah, Oklahoma man charged after 11-year-old gives birth at home. Yeah, I remember that. She gave birth at home. Um, yeah, see? DNA test confirmed he was the father of the newborn at the center of the case. She's 11. I just think it's horrific. He has to go to jail for the rest of his life, as far as I'm concerned. How could you do that? It was like it's his stepdaughter as well. Like how can you take? It's like the greatest breach of trust ever. Um, I hope he just never gets out. Same with the mum. She's as complicit. How did she not know that was going on under her own roof? How? Um, I just don't believe it. I do not believe that mum did not know that was going on under her own roof. I'm guessing the baby is in state care now. It would have been taken off the 11-year-old. She is not. I don't think she's old enough to have a child. I think you have to be older than that. Green Fairy says, God knows what was happening to the other children. I know, right? There was 5 other children. I know. The neighbor thought something funny was going on, and they did nothing. And then the mom gets on, the grandma gets on the freaking television, and she's all like, "Oh, the neighbors say things, but they don't know." Seems like they did know. Seems like, you can deny it all you want, but they did know about, they saw something, they knew it was wrong, they phoned it in, and then no one listened to them. And now look where we are. We have an 11-year-old who was given birth to a grown child, like a full-term kid, who's her stepfather's. That guy, I hope he never gets out of jail. All the kids are in custody. I would have thought so. There's no way you can leave them in that property. There's no way. Yeah, like they say here. This is one of the most, if not the most serious child's SA case and neglect case that they have ever prosecuted. Damn right. So when is he going to be sentenced? Let's have a look. Dustin Walker. So the DNA test confirmed a 99.9% certainty that Dustin Walker was the father. There you go. He has pled guilty. I mean, what else can he plead? He has to plead guilty. There's no other way around it. I'm just trying to see what other new information we have. Okay. Oh, jeez. It's, we're getting blocked by the stupid, yeah, hold on. There we go, that's better. There he is in prison. Let's have a look. Okay, Sherry, that's the mom, has been charged with 1 count of enabling child SA and 6 counts of child neglect. She should go to jail forever too. She was arraigned in February but does not have a plea hearing done as of yet. Walker is scheduled to be sentenced in June following his guilty plea Thursday. Damn right he should be pleading guilty. What else could he plead? Literally. Yeah, 99% certainty that he is the child's father. Ugh. He reportedly, KJRH reported that he admitted in court to impregnating the 11-year-old. I mean, it's wild. It really is wild. Come on. We're getting great delays on our browser. Hold on, guys. Have to close some tabs. We have about 80 tabs open. Give me a sec. Let me close like 50 of them. There we go. That's better. Yeah, so he'll be sentenced in a couple of months. We will see what happens after that. He's gonna have fun in jail. They don't take too kindly to CA. No, they don't. Yes, we will definitely watch around June. 45 years to life. It should be life. Don't let him out ever, ever. He is a horrible human being to do that to an 11-year-old. Well, I hope that's not true. I hope he gets real life. The life. Alright, let's see. Alright. Besides from our bizarre troll friend, we've had a pretty good night. It's been fun. It's been good to have you guys here. As you know, Ping hates the drama, so I'd rather just sit here and tell you about true crime. Can't stand stupid people with drama. I feel like there's much better things to do in the world, like bring you guys true crime updates and actually do work, than to gossip and talk bullshit about people for no reason. So, the Thoros said, Clyde, my bird, loves listening to Ping. That's pretty funny. So yeah, so I'm sorry about yesterday that I couldn't be here. I was literally sitting in the Supreme Court listening to boring prosecution and defense people just do their job, is the way I'm going to describe it. Marlene says Gen Pop for him and a new date. Hopefully he deserves nothing, no special circumstances. His crime is like the highest of the high. He deserves to go away for it, and let's hope it's no like soft sentencing, and let's hope he never is allowed to contact that child ever again. I don't know. Why is it that some of us have to refresh screens for lives they do not start automatically? I'm not sure. I'm not sure why that happens. Why some people have to do that and why some people don't. I'm not sure what the reasoning of it exactly is. Maybe it's a YouTube thing, maybe it's an Apple thing, maybe it's the type of phone that you're on or the type of computer. I don't know. But it doesn't do it for me. When I watch lives and they turn on, it just refreshes and then the live show starts. So I can't help you, my friend. I'm sorry. All right. It is 5:30. We should get out of here. We've been on for about 2 hours now. Yeah, let's get out of here. Hey, it is Good Friday. I will be back tomorrow where it'll be Good Friday for you. But from what I understand it, Americans don't really celebrate it. It's not a public holiday like it is down here. So we'll just have some fun and try and do some Easter things on the weekend. We've got some Easter stuff. We're gonna show you over the weekend, and yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Gonna just do and have a relaxing Easter. Let's hope this year is not as stressful as last year. If we could manage that, I will be very happy. I will bring you more updates tomorrow. My friends. Have fun, get some sleep. We'll be back tomorrow night, which is Friday night. Saturday for me, but Friday for you. And we'll talk more true crime then. I love you all. Thanks to the people who thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you then. Bye.